Hi, my name is Julia Roberts, and I'm a student here at Texas Christian University. I'm currently enrolled in the Doctorate of Nursing Practice program, and I'd like to share a little bit of my story here with you today. So, as I said, my name is Julia Roberts, and I always like to remind everyone that I'm the original Julia Roberts. And I moved here to Dallas, Texas in the summer of 2012 to be the Deputy Chief Nurse Officer at the VA, the Veterans Affairs Medical Center in Dallas, Texas. And to be honest with you, I was excited about the job and the career, thought I had hit my pinnacle goal, never gave any thought to going back to school or to become a Doctorate of Nursing Practice student. And a good friend of mine convinced me in the summer of 2012 to come here to TCU to hear Dr. Burns talk to fellow nurse executives in the community. And after listening to Dr. Burns talk about TCU and their mission and vision for nursing, I just became completely inspired. And Dr. Baker then stood up and talked about the Doctorate of Nursing Practice program and how tough it was to get in and how over 50% of the applicants are denied. And that really lit a fire in me, and I thought, this is what I want to do. All of a sudden, it became clear what the reason I was here in Texas and what my future career goals were to be. So before I continue my story, I just would like to thank all of you, because without your support and your encouragement, Texas Christian University would not have the programs that it has, the professors, the mission, the vision, and I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you to all of you for your support, and to share how your support has made a difference to me and to many other people that I've come in touch with the last few months. So I did apply for the program. I was accepted and started in the summer of 2013. It was a difficult summer at work, and carrying 7 credits here at TCU, it was a little bit daunting. And then something very unexpected happened. July of 2013, I woke up and I became completely deaf overnight. I was scared, I was frightened. I reached out to TCU. At the time, I thought I might have to quit my job, certainly drop out of school. How could I possibly continue? And Dr. Baker, Dr. Weeks, the professors, everyone said, Julia, we're here for you. They sent cards, they sent encouragement. We'll give you whatever time you need. I went on to have a cochlear implant in August of 2013. And I remember I was finishing up that summer semester, and there were two projects that were not even credit. They just were things that we had to do for the practicum, and I had not finished them. And I thought, oh, they're not going to, that won't matter. I can still complete that semester and take my 2 weeks off and recover from surgery. And Dr. Baker said, of course you can, we're here for you. And then when I came back and started the fall semester, she gently reminded me and guided me that I did need to complete those 2 projects, and helped me through a very complicated process to ensure that I understood the reason why I need to complete the projects. And I just want to say that the incredible importance that the faculty here have to motivate and encourage. I've written some really poorly written papers, and the feedback I get is always constructive, and you can do it, and you can keep getting better. And so I had the cochlear implant. I could now hear, not very well over the phone, and because of TCU's support and commitment, I continued on my journey here in the DNP program. But things kept continuing to happen. Sometimes we don't always know why things happen in our lives. And as I reached into 2014, I became deaf in my other ear, and went on to receive another cochlear implant. And again, I would not have ever dreamed to do that if I hadn't had the background, the curriculum here to look at evidence-based research, science. I even went on to do several papers on my possible diagnosis, and actually diagnosed myself, which was something that the physicians here in town had not been able to do that. And I owe that all to TCU and the fabulous curriculum. They've also inspired me to write. I never liked to write papers. I still don't really like to write papers. But in the spring of 2014, one of my professors, Dr. Lawrence, said, Julia, you have a really unique writing style. I really think you should submit one of your papers to publish. And not realizing that it was going to be a requirement the following semester, I thought, all right, I'll go ahead and submit. And much to my surprise, that publication, it was accepted and was just recently published, and I'll touch on that in just a second. But a few more things I'd like to share with you. On a recent trip to the United Kingdom this past month, I was sitting in a tour bus and started talking to one of the Welsh ladies next to me, and she was sharing with me her newly breast cancer diagnosis, stage 3. And we started talking about genetic testing and genomics, and I shared with her that I was a nurse, that I was a doctoral student here at TCU, and she was so excited to share her medical history and experiences in Wales that she actually took me to a breast center of excellence where I was able to reach out to her caregivers and fellow nurses and talk about the importance of nursing on an international level. And I have to tell you that before TCU, I would never have dreamed to do that. Quite frankly, I never would have dreamed to go into the international community and to share my experiences as a nurse. Some of you may be veterans in the room and who are hearing this video, and I would like to first of all thank you for your service. As I said, I'm the Deputy Chief Nurse Officer at the VA here in Dallas, and some of you may have heard recently that there have been problems with the VA Medical Center, that there have been publications of access issues and wait times, and some VA leaders that have not been completely forthright in the access issues. And I became aware of those access issues. In Dallas, quite frankly, we had some backlog, but we didn't try to hide the list. We were very forthcoming in our access issues. And I was getting ready to go to Dublin, Georgia to fill in on a separate project there. And I got to thinking about this access, and it's a systems issue. And the Six Sigma training I've had here through TCU, and the training on complex adaptive systems and lean thinking, and my passion for veterans, and thought, wait a minute, I'm going to see if I'll go to the CEO and say, you know what, why don't you create a special position for me, reporting directly to you, and let me tackle access, and let me get a group together and look at this from a whole medical center wide. And the Dallas VA Medical Center is the second largest VA in the United States. It's a very complex system. We serve over 100,000 veterans. And I asked him that on Friday, put a few conditions on the table, which I never would have dreamed of doing before I began my doctorate program. And the director, the CEO, thought it was a great idea. And so the following Monday, he announced that I was going to be in charge of access. And kind of, Julia, take it away. And within several weeks, I was able, based on my education and curriculum here, and I can't say training because really TCU is all about inspiring and helping you figure out the problem and using the tools that they've given me to go forward and to figure out the problems myself. And long story short, 90 days later, the VA, Dallas has done a great job with their access, and our electronic wait list has gone from 300 and some to 0. And normally I wouldn't say those numbers, but they're a matter of public record anyway, so you can look them up. And I'm very proud of that. And I would love to see it go into sustain mode, but there's two other things of my story I'd like to share with you. And that is, I'm filming today instead of being in person because tomorrow I'm leaving for Wisconsin. I'm moving to Milwaukee to be the Chief Nurse Officer at Milwaukee VA. And that's been my dream job for several years, and it's one that I never would have even thought of before I came to Texas Christian University and had the support of my fellow classmates and the professors, and thanks to all of you. And also, I didn't even apply for the position. They had heard about me and my work with Access and as a doctoral student, and they sought me out. And so, again, thank you for your support, or I would not be packing overnight, literally, and going to Wisconsin. And one last thing I'd like to share, going back to when I said I had published a manuscript, and now it's lit a fire to publish and to tell different stories. Today, when I stood up to say my goodbye to nursing service at VA North Texas, and I stood up just to say it was great working with you. And then all of a sudden I thought, you know, they need to hear a little bit of the inspiration that TCU has given me. And so I reached out to all of them and challenged them to continue their careers for doctorates. And someone actually brought the manuscript that has recently been published and asked for my autograph, and that they wanted to frame it and put it in the office at VA North Texas. And I was so touched and so inspired, but I reminded them, again, it's all about following your dreams and reaching out to a community that can inspire and support you. And that's what Texas Christian University has done for me. Through your support, it has touched many veterans and many people on an international level. And I just can't thank you enough for your support and for your support of this fabulous university. Go Frogs!